Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Dear grade 10 students, welcome at Oman Live channel. Welcome at our educational program. This is Sultan الغافري speaking in front of you and explaining grade 10 students curriculum. And we started in the previous lessons talking about unit number 2 in semester number 2, which is about healthy lifestyle. In the first lesson, we discussed about reading and understanding and some ways of living a healthy lifestyle. And we talked also about some problems that may face some people and how to overcome them, and giving them some or pieces of advice. Also, we moved to the grammar and vocabulary lesson, and also we talked about yes/no questions, how to form them, and how to form also WH questions. And also we took also some vocabulary that are related to healthy lifestyle. Then we moved to lesson number 3, which was about listening and speaking, and we also formed some questions when we go to the doctor, and how can we ask the doctor, and how can the doctor ask the patient, how can we respond to the doctor, what expressions should we use. And then we moved to the pronunciation and the intonation when we say the yes/no question and the WS question, where does the intonation goes whether up or down in the two main types of questions. Today, inshallah, we are going to focus on an important skill in English, which is writing. And today we are going to focus on writing about a healthy lifestyle. So at the beginning, we should tell you about the learning objectives of our lesson. So in this lesson, you will, first of all, you will read and understand a report, okay? Then you are going to analyze the structure and the key features of a report. So there are some features of a report. What are these features and what are the structure of writing a report? Then you are going to summarize some information, and at the end you are going to make notes about survey results. So let's start with the class book, page 22. So please open your class books, page 22. Here the question said read and write. Read and write. Khalifa has written a report about the results of his sleep habits survey, as we know in the previous lesson. So read the survey and think of a title for this report. So let's see the report. And he said read the survey. So we have 4 sections or in this report. We have background information, then we have the survey, and then we have the main findings, and at the end we have the conclusion. So he said read the survey. The survey is the second part. So now let's read the survey and try to think of a title for this report. The survey said, I did a survey to learn about the sleep habits of my grade 10 classmates. The survey had 5 multiple choice questions and I asked 15 students. I will discuss the main findings below. So after reading this survey, what is the best title for this report? Okay, so the best title we can say, how much sleep do my classmates get? how much sleep do my classmates get? This is according to the survey section. Okay, now let's move to the second part of the question, which is number 2. And in this question, we should read the information about the content of the report from activity 1. Then we should complete each sentence with a subheading from the report. So number 1, we have gap section discusses the most important finding from the survey. Not all of the questions and results have been included. So in which section did they discuss the most important finding? Number 2, we have space, summarizes the main findings again. It also includes the author's recommendation about how teenagers could improve their sleep habits. Number 3, we have also space. This section provides some facts about sleep, including why it is important and how much we need. And the last one, number 4, this section provides some information about the report, including how many people answered it and how many questions it had. So let's go back to the first section. The first section is background information. So what should we write in the background information? So let's read it quickly and discuss the information that is written in this section. Sleep is very important. So he is speaking about the importance of sleep. Sleep helps us concentrate at school. It also helps us feel happy and maintain a healthy weight. Okay, so here is why it is helpful for us to sleep. Adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, but teenagers need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So he also gives more information about adults and teenagers. How much or how many hours should they sleep per night? So for the adults, from 7 to 9 hours, and for the teenagers, they need from 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. So this background information, we should put them at the very beginning when we want to write a report. Then after the background information, we should go to the survey and talk about our survey that we have done. So he said, I did a survey. Why? This give us the reason. Why did you do this survey? To learn about the sleep habits of my class or of my grade 10 classmates. Now, what are the main things that you include in the survey? The survey had 5 multiple choice questions. So 5 multiple choice. And this Khalifa asked 15 students. And he said, I will discuss the main findings. He said the main findings, not all of them, but the main findings. So after that, you should talk about the main finding. So he said, in the third section, which is the main findings, the main finding is that my classmates do not get enough sleep. This is the main finding. Only one person gets more than 9 hours sleep. Okay, and most of my classmates get less than 7 hours sleep. This is less than the 8 to 10 hours recommended for teenagers. Also, he said the second main finding, only 2 people said that they do not feel tired when they wake up. So this is the second main finding. 7 of my classmates do not get to bed until or after 11 p.m. So these are the 3 main findings. Based on the survey results, I think the main reason that people do not get enough sleep is because they go to bed quite late. So he discussed in the main finding 3 main findings, and he discussed them and he gave them some supporting sentences or some more information about these main findings. After the findings, you should go to the conclusion, which is the last part of a report. So you should start with the background information, then you should talk about your survey, then about the main findings and the conclusion. In the conclusion, what should you write in the last part? In the conclusion, I think my classmates could improve their sleep habit. So he gave them advice. I recommend that they go to bed earlier so that they can get between 8 and 10 hours sleep a night. So he gave his opinion, and he gave them his recommendation. So now, after discussing the main parts of the report, now let's complete our question, which is question number 2, page 23 of the class book. So the first one, number 1, what is the section that discusses the most important findings? So we said in the main findings section, we discussed the main findings from the survey, but not all of them, just the main things. Number 2, which section summarizing the main findings again, but here the author write his recommendations. In which section? So we saw that in the conclusion section that the author gave his recommendation and his opinion. The third question. Now, what is the section that provides some facts about sleep and includes why it is important and how much we need? So the facts about our main topic, we should put them in the background information, which is the first section. And then number 4, what section provides some information about the report, including how many people answered and how many people or how many questions are there in the survey? This is the survey section. So we have again 4 main sections for writing a report. The first one is the background information. The second one is the survey. Then you should discuss the main findings, not all of them, and at the end you should write the conclusion where you put your recommendation and your opinion. Now let's move, guys, to the class book, page 23. So please open your class books, page 23. Look at activity number 3. Read and discuss. Read and discuss. So in this question, you are going to read the report from the activity 1 again and discuss the questions below. Make some notes about your answers in your exercise books. Now, what are these questions? Number 1, according to the report, why is sleep important, or why it is important to sleep? Number 2, how many people answered the survey questions? How many people answered the survey questions? Number 3, how many questions from the survey does Khalifa discuss in the main findings section of the report? And number 4, what conclusion does Khalifa make about his findings? And number 5, what does he recommend for his classmates? And the last one, what tenses is the report written in? So let's answer these questions together and go to the text again. So if we start with question number 1, according to the report, why is important sleep? Where can we find this answer? We can answer this question from background information, which is the first section of the report. So here you can find the answer. He said sleep is very important. Why? Because it helps us concentrate at school, and also it helps us feel happy and maintain a healthy weight. This is the answer for the first question. Question number 2. How many people answered the survey questions? So he said here, I asked 15 students. So 15 students answered the survey questions. Moving to question number 3. How many questions from the survey does Khalifa discuss in the main findings? In the main finding sections of the report. So he said the main finding is that my classmates do not get enough sleep. So the first one, he said only one person get more than 9 hours. And the second one, he said only 2 people said that they do not feel tired. And the third one, he said 7 of my classmates do not go to bed until or after 11 p.m. So that there are 3 questions discussed in the main finding. Now question number 4. What conclusion does Khalifa make about his finding? He said, in conclusion, I think my classmates could improve their sleep habits. This is the conclusion that he make about his finding. And the last question, he said, what does he recommend for his classmates? He recommend that they go to bed earlier so that they can get from 8 to 10 hours per sleep at night. And the last question was what tense was written, or the report was written in. As you can see, sleep is, and he said helps. Okay, so we use the present tense, and in the survey section he said I did, and he said also the survey had 5 multiple choice questions, so we use the past tense. So in the report we can use the present tense and the past tense. So these are the answers for the questions, and this is the summary about how can we write a report. So we should write background information, or first of all the topic and the background information, and then the survey, the main finding, and the conclusion. So now guys, let's go to the skills book page 18 and look at activity number 1. In activity number 1, he wants you to make some notes about main finding of your survey or of the survey. Now the topic was about sleep habits, and the number of people. Imagine that you asked 24 students in your class, and what are the main findings that you get? Sleep is important because it helps students concentrates at their schools and they feel happy. And what is the conclusion? That you get students do not get enough sleep. And what is the recommendation that you give? They should go to school. They should go to their beds earlier. So this is a summary also of the main findings of a survey. Now let's move to activity number 2, which is in your skills book, page 18. And here, this is a good practice for forming correct questions, as we took in the second lesson, which is about grammar and vocabulary, on how to form correct questions. Here, as you can see in the example, he gave you some words, but it is not in a correct question, not a correct question formation. If we read the example, we have what and your survey about. Now, how can we form a correct question about, or from these words? What was your survey about? What was? We said after the WH question, we should have what? An auxiliary verb. And here it is was. Now let's read the 5 questions that is written here, and we should form them correctly. Number 1, why? And we have choose this topic. What is missing here? Number 2, how many? And we have completed survey. How can we form a correct question here? Number 3, what? And we have main findings. Now, how can I form a correct question from these words? Number 4, were findings expected and surprising? So, how can I form a correct question? Number 5, what? And we have the word conclusions and draw from findings. Now, what is missing here and how can I form a correct question? Let's start with number 1, why and choose this topic. So, why did you choose this topic? Why did you choose this topic? This is a correct question. So, we start with WH question, then an auxiliary verb, then the subject, and after that we have the main verb. In number 2, how many we should put what? The subject. How many people completed your survey? How many people completed your survey? And number 3, what were the main findings? What were the main findings from your survey? And number 4, were these findings expected or surprising? Were these findings expected or surprising? And the last one, what conclusion can you draw from the findings? What conclusion can you draw from the findings? Okay, now let's move to the skills book, page 18 and 19, and here we are going to talk about survey. How can we write a survey? Okay, so he said complete the sentences about your survey finding. Now, when we want to write a survey, the survey part, which is the second part in the report. So in the report, again, we said we start with the background information, then the survey. After that, we have the main findings, and at the end, we should write the conclusion. Now here, we are talking about the survey. How can I write, or what should I write in the survey? Or what expressions or what phrases should I use in the survey section? You should start with this, or you can start with this sentence. I did survey to learn about. I did a survey to learn about what? Is it about the sleep habits, about drinking habits, about junk food habits, or eating junk food? So you should here write the topic of your survey. This is the first sentence. Also, in the second sentence, you should say how many questions that are in your survey. So you can say, my survey had, for example, 3 questions, 5 questions, and also you can mention how many people answered the survey. So maybe you have 10 people or you have 30 people answered your survey. So the second sentence, you should write how many questions and how many people answered your survey. Now, what is the third point in the survey? Okay, so you should write what is the main finding. The main finding from my survey was, this is the main finding, and another important finding was, okay, and you can say in the fifth point, I think the main reason that you can give your opinion. This is in the conclusion section, and in conclusion you can say your recommendation about the survey that you have done. Also you can say, I recommend that, use this expression, I recommend that students go to bed early to get, for example, enough sleep. Now this is the survey, and these are some expressions that we may use in our survey, and the main findings and also the conclusion. Now, how can I plan for my writing? How can I plan when I write a report? So please guys, go to your skills book, please, page 45. Look at this page, page 45 of your skills book. The question said, plan your writing. How can I plan? Make notes about what you will write about in each paragraph, and we are going to see how many paragraphs that we have and what should we write in these paragraphs. So this is, first of all, this is the organization of the report. So in the first paragraph, as we said, you should give background information about the topic. Background information. What is the topic, and can you give us more information about it? And then move to the second paragraph, which is the survey. Provide some information about the survey. What should I write in the survey? How many people answered, and how many questions do you have in your survey? Then after that, in paragraph number 3, you should discuss the main finding of your survey. Not all of the questions, maybe you have 4 or 5 questions. Just in the main finding section, just mention 2 or 3 main findings or the most important finding. And in the last paragraph, you should summarize the main finding again and include your recommendation and your opinion about the topic. Okay, so this is the organization of the report. The first paragraph is about background information, the second paragraph about the survey, and the third paragraph should be about the main findings, and the last one is about the conclusion and your opinion and your recommendation about the topic. Now let's go guys to your skills book, page 56. Your skills book, page 56. Here in this page, you will see a survey report, and he gave you for each paragraph some expressions to start your sentences. So you should focus on some top tips before writing a report. So first of all, describe the topic and the survey sample. Then make sure that each paragraph focuses on one main idea. Do not mix between the ideas from paragraph to another paragraphs. Do not talk about the main findings in the first paragraph. Do not talk about the survey in the last paragraph. Do not talk about your recommendation in the first paragraph. So this is the idea. Then provide examples to support your main findings, and this should be in the main findings section, which is section number 3. Then include recommendations in the last paragraph. Include recommendations in the last paragraph, which is section number 4, the conclusion. Now, when you organize your paragraphs, you should use some of the expressions here. In paragraph 1, when you give general information about the topic and its importance, you can start with the topic and you can say is very important, or it is also, you can speak about is it helpful or not. And also you can use the expression especially. Now in paragraph number 2, when you are talking about your survey, you can give details about the number of the survey participants or the people in the survey, and you may mention their age and how many questions are in the survey. You can use these expressions. I did a survey about, for example, sleep habit. Okay, the survey, for example, had, for example, 5 questions. And in my survey, I asked, for example, 10 participants or 10 students. Then the last sentence say, I will discuss the main findings in the main findings section. Okay. Then when you move to the paragraph or to paragraph 3, you should explain the main findings and highlight some important details. What are the important details that you think are important in the findings? You can use these expressions like the main finding is, or 5 people or 5 students answered or had, for example, or didn't go to sleep early. Or you can also say only one person or one student and complete the sentence, or most of the students, and then see what is the best finding for this. And based on the survey results, I think, put your opinion there. Also, you can put your opinion in the conclusion section, and when you write your last paragraph, you should summarize the main finding again and give your recommendation. So you can say to summarize or to sum up or in conclusion or I recommend, and then write from 2 to 3 sentences in this section. So this is how can we write a report, and how can we organize this report, and what are some phrases or some expressions that we can use in each paragraph of the surveys. Okay, let's say again what are the main parts of the survey. We have the background information, then, or the report, the background information, then the survey. After that, we have the main finding, and the last thing we should put the conclusion section. Okay. Now, guys, Let's go to the class book page 25. Now here in this question, he wants us to plan a report, and the question said, you will plan a healthy living event for students at your school. Okay, so imagine that you are going to plan a healthy living event for your or for the students in your school. Now brainstorm your ideas for your event and answer the questions below. Now here we have 7 questions. We want to answer them together. Now, what area of healthy living will your event focus on? What area of healthy living will your event focus on? Number 2, what is the main, or what is the aim, or what is the goal of your event? Number 3, who can attend your event? Okay, then what activities will you include in the event? Number 5, will you have a special guest, and who is this person? And number 6, what kind of food will be served at the event? And number 7, what else will you have to prepare? So when you plan a healthy living event, or when you plan any event, you should take into your mind this information, and you should answer them in order to have a good event. So for example, we can say, we can answer these questions together. What area of healthy living will your event focus on? It will focus on doing exercise. This is the event that we are going to plan for. Number 2, what is the aim of the event? The aim is for students to learn how to live a more active lifestyle. How students live a more active lifestyle. Number 3, who can attend your event? Grade 10 students, because I am focusing, or I am aiming at grade 10 students. Okay. Number 4, what activities will you include in the event? I will trying a sport and doing yoga. So this is suggested. So trying a sport and doing yoga. Number 5, will you have a special guest? Yes, I will have a special guest who is Fahad. This is a star in the gym. So I will invite him to attend in this event. And what kind of food will be served at the event? Making healthy snacks, okay, because we are focusing on healthy living event. And what else will you have to prepare? I can prepare, for example, some chairs and any other personal plan that you want to prepare for this event. So this is when you want to plan, you should take into your consideration that you focus on something, and you should have an aim for that, and you should know who are going to attend and what activities that you are going to include, and maybe you can introduce or invite a special guest, and you, of course, you should have food and things that you want to prepare for the event to be organized. Okay. Now let's go, guys, to the class book page 25, and this is activity number 4, and in this activity he wants you to do a project, And what should you do in this project? Let's read this information that we should do in the project. Now your flyer should include the following information. The first one, the name of the event. So you should give a name for your event. The second one, details about the event. So when you want to do an event, you should give information about the date, the time, and the location. For example, you can make this event, for example, on Saturday or on Sunday. Give a date and the day. For example, on 20th of, for example, March, or and the time. Also the location. Where is it? In the LRC, or it is in the developmental or professional development, for example, room, or is it in the class, or is it in a hall that you have in your, for example, in your school? Who can attend the event? So you should know who are the participants of your events, who are the people who will attend your event. And then you should concentrate on the activities that you should include in this event. What activities? For example, if you are preparing, for example, a topic, for example, about healthy living, you can do some activities that help you to have a healthy living event, for example. And also you should take into your consideration the schedule for the event. What should happen first, next, after that, and the food. What should you prepare for the food? And also you should, if there are more information that you, for example, you want to include, you should write them there. After that, in question number 2, prepare a short presentation about your event. And what should I include in my presentation? And in the presentation also, each member of the group should participate in this presentation. What are some words that I can use in my presentation? So let's see some of the useful language. Talking about your event. So when you want to talk about your event, you should use these expressions like, the name of our event is. What is the name? The aim of our event is. So what is the aim? What is the goal of your event? Our event will be on. What is the date? And at which time? Give us specific time. During the event, students will do what? And activities include, they will do some activities. And what are these activities? So you should include these in your presentation. And also when you want to speak about the event, you should speak about the order or the timing or the schedule of the event. The event will start and with, for example, someone, and it will finish with someone, okay? Or it will start with one activity, and it will finish with another activity. Also, you should, when you want to speak, you should mention who is your special guest. He is special because he is, for example, a star in something. And the food which is prepared or provided at the event, and the students should bring, for example, some healthy food. And at the end, you should ask this question: do you have any question about the event? So this is how we speak or how we give presentation when we want to talk about any event. So this is the end of our lesson today. We have covered the writing session and how to write a report. So we said that we should start with background information about our topic, then we should move to our survey. What is the survey about, and how many students or how many participants, how many questions are there in our survey. Then we should move to the third part, which is the main findings, and here you should mention what are the important findings that you should write in your report, and at the end you should write the conclusion, write your opinion, and write your recommendation about your about the report. Also, we covered the organization of the report and what expressions that we write in each paragraph of the report. So this is the end of our lesson. Thank you, and see you inshallah in the in next lesson. Thank you and goodbye.